Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Alana, as a meteorologist, someone who studies weather and watches it all the time, what goes through your mind when you see a storm like that?
My stomach hurts.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts, and my stomach hurts for so many reasons, because you know the devastation that's coming. You know Jamaica and the structural damage was expected. But you also know that this is a spot that depends on tourism. And so people were still there. I mean, you just heard from someone who was like, I've got to get home. Well, that's just not going to be feasible when you're dealing with a Category 5, the first one ever to hit that area. And scary tonight, we're re-strengthening. And to see that eye, I showed the satellite imagery, to see that eye form again, knowing that eastern Cuba is going to be hit hard. A 4, a 5. We're talking about devastating wind. The storm surge recorded at 13 feet. That is the deadliest part of a hurricane. And so we haven't heard the story yet out of Jamaica. So we're getting these first initial results, and I just know that there's more on the way. So my heart breaks, my stomach hurts, and of course I just hope that everybody impacted, it's going to be a long road to clean up in that area. And we're not done. Storm rages on, and it's still on the move in that area, being strengthened by those warm waters. So tough tonight. Makes me thankful for what we have in the Beehive State. We have our own type of severe weather, but today we were dealing with quiet conditions. So we were a little cold. Wow. I can't even complain about the cold. You think of other people and you go, you know what? I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to put on my Uggs. Truly. I'm going to warm up, and I'm going to be just fine. Great shot here. You know, we are seeing peak colors in portions of the state. Scott caught this one in Santa Quin Canyon, and it's really pretty. They're really starting to go. The cold is kind of the indicator that changes are brewing. We do have fall colors holding on in the southern portion of the state. I want to show you that, because as you look down towards St. George, it's holding on there, and then southeastern Utah, it is high color or peak color in the West Desert and on the western side of the valley. But get out there and enjoy if you haven't already. The changes are coming. It was so chilly this morning. Did you feel it? Did you step out? The Wasatch back had numbers in the teens and 20s. Look at Huntsville at 25. Love the backside of the Wasatch. Huntsville, Liberty, Eden. I hope you were warm. 25 in Morgan, 21 in Park City, teens in Camas, and then along the Wasatch front, we had a lot of 20s. Salt Lake dropped down to 30, and we really had a long way to go to warm things back up today. And it was very difficult to do because we have that northerly flow, and that really keeps our temperatures at bay. 24 in Tooele, and we know that those conditions really struggled a little bit, and we are going to be dealing with the warmth coming back as we get through the next couple of days. We are checking in on the Black Desert Sky Cam, and I'm going to show you what it looks like there in southern Utah with clear conditions. This was the spot that had the warmth. Love that sunset, as pretty as ever. So we had the warmth there, and we will build back with the warmth through the rest of northern Utah. As we take a look at our high temperatures, you're able to see 50s, low 50s in Salt Lake. We snuck to 51, average is 60, so still 9 degrees below where we typically are. We stayed in the 40s in Cache Valley, 40s and 50s on the eastern side of the state, 73 in St. George. So we warmed things up, but still running between 5 and 10 degrees below average. There's that northerly flow impacting our temperatures, but dry skies throughout the state as high pressure begins to build. This ridge of high pressure is going to be the main weather feature, which means we're going to close out the month of October on a dry and quiet note. What a month it's been. And okay, we can dry out, because not only did we have the wettest October ever on record, we also are the 5th wettest month in Salt Lake City ever to be recorded, with more than 5 inches of precipitation in Salt Lake. Think back in the month. We had flooding, we had wet weather, but this is monumental. We'll be talking about this October for a long time, and even as it closes out on a dry note. This is what it looked like from Nelson Peak. Tonight, you can see the city lights looking down in the valley. We also were catching a little bit of haze, and that haze is something we're going to watch closely, because with high pressure, we're welcoming back our dear friend, who I don't think anyone's excited to see, inversion season, meaning we're going to trap that cold air on the valley floor. That high pressure brings a warmer layer that acts as a lid, and so we trap that cold air and pollutants as a result of a temperature inversion, which is what we're seeing. And so tomorrow you're going to notice some haze. Air quality tends to deteriorate when this happens, because we trap pollutants as well as cold air on the valley floor, and we see elevated particulate matter, which we expect in Davis, Salt Lake, and Utah County sunny tomorrow. So we're seeing our first hints of the inversion season, which is something that we battle for several months. And a lot of things play into this, our mountains and the setup with our valleys, the sun angle, and of course, high pressure this time of year. So that's going to bring some air quality issues. 40s turning to 30s with hazy conditions sticking around into tonight. As we take a look at the futurecast here, you're going to see that high pressure building, and as it does, we stay quiet. Now, we were tracking the chance of a bit of a front grazing northern Utah. It was a shallow front, thought maybe it could bring some clouds, but it's not going to do much in the way of temperature change. Dry throughout the west as we get through Thursday. Big picture here, upper level futurecast showing that ridge of high pressure. It's defined. There's the possibility of some additional clouds. That's going to move out of the way, which means we head into Halloween with clear skies. It will be nice and seasonal for those trick-or-treaters, which I love to be able to report. And the warmth holds on for the weekend. So we're going to kick off November on a dry note and temperatures slightly above average. Hopping in that weather time machine, 61 for Halloween in Salt Lake. But look at years past, 50s, 60s. Yeah, we've been wetter. We've been warmer. We've also been colder. Who's trick-or-treated in the snow in Utah? Raise your hand. I know you're sitting at home going, oh, we have. 50s and 60s for tomorrow, 61 in Moab, 76 in St. George. Looking at the next 7 days in Washington County, you're going to be able to see those numbers. In the 70s, we've got gorgeous conditions for Halloween in the south. Wasatch Front follows a similar trend. Dry setup here, closing out the month. Isn't that ironic that we're closing it out super dry, starting November on a dry note, but come on, it was sucky. You know it. 61 on Halloween. We fall back this weekend, and for that, I say thank you for the hour.
Yes, I'll take that.